Okay guys, in this video we're going to talk about the top 10 stocks Robinhood investors are buying right now. So guys, in this video we're basically going to run down 10 of the most widely bought stocks on the Robinhood app. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Robinhood app, it's basically a free stock trading app that is very popular among millennials. So guys, how to get this information? I'm simply on robintrack.net. That's robintrack.net, and I'll put the link to the description. You can check this guys out. So you want to check out this site, you just simply go there and you head to the homepage and you click popularity changes, and you can actually track what people are buying in Robinhood. So it's really cool if you guys are looking for some trading ideas, or you kind of want to see where money is pouring into on the app. I know a lot of you guys on there trade call options like I do. So maybe you're looking for some profitable opportunities, or maybe you're looking for some stocks to add. Okay, so number one, with a ridiculous change in and buyership over the last couple of days, 100,009 users have picked up this ETF. So this ETF is USO. It stands for United States Oil Fund, and it basically tracks the price of West Texas crude oil. So as you guys know, you've been following the news, demand for oil has plummeted as they have way too much supply. So this has sent this ETF tanking, and it looks like a lot of smart Robinhood users are basically buying up this ETF in anticipation that prices will stabilize once people start driving again and we get past this quarantine period. So it looks like we're going to have a soft basically open up of the society around most places within probably May, June at the latest. So I think a lot of people on Robinhood are simply buying up this ETF and going to be holding it because it looks like it's pretty undervalued. Obviously, oil prices will not stay this low for long. Once people start driving their cars again and start heading over to gas stations, start churning up the tank, it looks like the prices will probably go back and stabilize. So this looks like the top trade on Robinhood over the last couple of days. Number two is Delta Airlines. So Delta Airlines actually reported earnings earlier in this week, and the earnings, they weren't very good, but they weren't good for most airlines. And most of these airline stocks are undervalued if you're thinking within like the next 2 to 3 years. So that's an interesting play. I actually own Delta Airlines stock, and although I'm down quite a bit on it, I can understand why people are interested in holding these airline stocks. I think maybe like 2022, 2023, people will not be talking about what's going on in 2020 as much, and these could be potentially undervalued, and they'll be able to reintroduce their share buyback programs and their dividends after the CARES Act period ends. Also, on that same note, number three is American Airlines. That one as well is basically has basically the same interest. The prices have collapsed, and I actually made a video about American Airlines saying that I thought the stock was a good short-term trading opportunity, but a long-term hold if you're willing to wait out kind of the terrible quarters that airlines have been announcing lately. But for me personally, I prefer Delta Airlines stock. I just think American Airlines has one of the worst balance sheets in the industry, and they've been struggling for years now. This isn't just recent. The price has been going down for a while. So for me, I prefer Delta Airlines. Number four is GE stock. Now, GE is another stock that has basically always been an actively traded stock. And, there's always been strong ownership in GE, mainly because the stock has been so cheap. And it just looks like the company is going through one of these growth struggle periods where they're not really sure and they're not really focused. I think the problem with GE is lack of focus. Okay, so number five is Ford stock. So we head over to Ford stock. You see Ford stock is another popular stock that's being traded on Robinhood. Now, me personally, I actually posted a video earlier on why I dump Ford stock. The stock has basically been tanking for years now. Ford to me is a busted company. They're not forward thinking enough, and they basically ditched making passenger cars and focusing solely on SUVs and trucks, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. Because even though those products or those cars are much higher margin, I would think the average person will probably still be buying a passenger car. So for me, I see that the interest for Ford stock has skyrocketed. It looks like some people think it's undervalued, but they cut their dividend. And for me, I'm bullish on Tesla. So Number 6, Aurora Cannabis. So this is a stock I really haven't talked much about Aurora Cannabis ever since they announced their reverse stock split. I'm kind of disappointed in the company, saying that they had to go to these drastic measures to basically fix their stock price. But the good thing is that they have a pretty strong balance sheet, and I don't think they're going to go bankrupt. So right now, we just don't want them to go bankrupt because I don't think every cannabis company will survive this pandemic crisis. So as long as their balance sheet is okay, I'm going to still hold on to my shares. Okay, so number 7 is another ETF that tracks the price of oil. It's the Barclays IPAV Series B oil funds. This is another ETF. It's kind of like in the similar spot as USO. The price is down a ton, basically due to the crisis that's going on. So as you can see here, this was just trading a lot higher. So this thing has absolutely collapsed. It looks like a lot of smart Robinhood users are buying up this ETF as well. So basically the same thing. Once people start driving again, that fund and the price of oil should recover. So number 8, we have United Airlines. So United Airlines is another airlines I was talking about. I posted a video earlier about this. Basically, it's basically on track to basically do the same thing that Delta and American Airlines and other airlines are going to go through, because these travel stocks, especially airlines and cruise stocks, have been hit really, really hard, as you know, with the global travel ban and a lot of countries with their borders closed, people are not flying and they're not taking cruises. So I think if you're patient, I think if you're willing to hold and wait out a year or 2 years, you can be handsomely rewarded, because a lot of these stocks were trading at ridiculous highs with all of their share buybacks and things like that. So number 9, Carnival Cruise stock. So I also talked about Carnival Cruise stock in one of my recent videos on how I thought the stock was grossly overvalued, and how a key director and the public investment fund of Saudi Arabia were make were entering a huge stake in this company. So this is another stock that has basically been really, really beaten down, and it's not really a broken company, it's a broken stock. Simply these cruise companies, they had no choice but to basically stop accepting customers. So it wasn't like Carnival was really struggling too much based on their business performance. This was just a kind of a short-term thing where they couldn't accept passengers. So once they bounce back, and people are probably really, really interested in taking a cruise now after spending, months on end, basically quarantined inside their homes and apartments, it looks like that a lot of people will be looking to enjoy their summer on a nice, potentially perhaps Caribbean cruise. So that's a nice stock as well. And then number 10 is finally Boeing stock. So Boeing stock, another very high quality stock, actually the largest exporter of goods in the United States. So this is another stock that has been forced to basically cut their dividend and, do a lot of things to save money, because the company was in trouble, and it's gotten bailed out in the CARES Act. So the good thing about Boeing is that Boeing is a high quality company. I think you're getting Boeing stock at a ridiculous discount. It looks like it's over 50% off. And if you're patient with Boeing stock, this is a stock that you can hold for the long term. Very high quality stock, part of the Dow Jones. Probably the highest quality stock out of all the 10 that I mentioned, but also the most expensive. So guys, that rounds out the top 10 stocks Robinhood investors are buying right now. And like I said, out of all these lists, my favorite play is, well, it's not number one by accident. I think there's been so much negative news about West Texas crude oil, and how people are saying you can basically, buy gas for like 11 cents, and all these crazy articles going around, that I think that this ETF fund is a great play. So the way that I'm going to be playing this ETF is a couple of ways. Obviously, you can just buy the ETF outright, and that's a great way because it was just trading at around about 12 to 13 bucks. Let's say around 13 bucks until, the whole coronavirus thing. But you can also buy call options. So based upon how long you think this lockdown will last, you can buy some call options. I would do about at least 2 to 3 months in advance, and then hold on to those call options. And those options should be worth a lot more once things open back up. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Once again, you can find out all this information on your own. Just go to robintracks.net and head over to popularity changes. They have all of this information there, and it's best of all 100% free. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. And like I said, I post free videos on the stock market and other ways you can make money investing every day. So be sure to subscribe to this channel to receive free videos by clicking the red subscribe button underneath this video, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you guys like this video, I'll try to post something like this every week where I recap the most popular Robinhood stocks for the last couple of days. So that's it for now, guys, and until next time, take care.